They sparred over the economy. So what are some of the central money issues that could impact Americans?
Well, some of the big situations that are really concerning is obviously taxes. If we raise taxes, and what that does, that means that's less money in a lot of our pocketbooks to go out and spend in goods. Is the tariffs going to go away? So is Joe Biden? So a lot of the S&P 500 likes the idea of Joe Biden because he might lessen the deals on the tariffs, which means businesses can prosper on that side. So there's two sides to each of these that don't panic, but again, don't be super aggressive right now. See it out. So most of us are in a 401k, and they are being held by what we call a mutual fund. And a mutual fund has managers. And believe me, before today, before election night, those managers were positioning themselves the way they thought it was best to be positioned for that mutual fund for the marketplace. So if you're an individual investor and you're buying individual stock, you better know what you're doing because you might be betting wrong. But when we let the professionals do it in these mutual funds, most times they're really diversifying us, but making sure that your portfolio risk is appropriate for where you are in life.
Well, Mallory brought up taxes. Can this country, can we make it through another shutdown if the coronavirus gets out of control again?
My guess, no. Joe Biden talks about shutting down the country, but he also talks about stimulating with $2 trillion. Of course, we know what $2 trillion means to most of us people. That means there's going to be more taxes down the road. So it's fearful that we keep throwing money at a problem and just shutting down the economy. Some of the businesses aren't going to respond. And sad things is, I have a lot of clients and they're still working. They're able to be virtual from home. But you look at the lower denominators of people that are struggling out there, this virus really hurts them more than anybody else. And I don't know if, just handouts to them is going to really help them recover from where they are. But that's the big fear today is, do we get this virus under control or do we not?
And what's your take on stimulus checks? A lot of people were really hoping for that second round. President Trump saying if he were to be reelected, that you could potentially count on that. But could that really help people right now, or if there are more shutdowns due to the pandemic?
Yes, it definitely can stimulate. Of course, President Trump did pass some executive orders, and he temporarily, of course, suspended all federal loan payments, which was a really good thing. So there are things that are out there that, obviously they have this thing in Congress, but they're fighting. So it's not always the president. So it's not always going to be President Biden or it's going to be President Trump. You got to get Congress to agree. And they're far apart because, they're playing politics with people's lives. And I really don't like that. I think we should have stimulus packaged this 2 months ago and put a little stimulus back into people's pockets because it's the low income people are really being hurt the worst and they need that stimulus. I mean, I know President Trump did the passing where they got an extra $300 on unemployment, but for those families that are struggling, to pay the rent and their jobs aren't coming back, they're in trouble. So I hope whoever's the president, wakes up and Congress can wake up and they can come together because that's what it's all about. Can we come together as a country? Regardless what side you're on, we need to come together. We got to help those that are struggling that the coronavirus has hurt more than anybody else.
All right, Freddie, when's the last base hit you got?
Actually, 2 weeks ago, we were down there in Florida, so we missed you. Hopefully you come down with me and Bobby and play again.
All right, Fred, you're an all-star, man. Thanks.
All right,
We'll be
sounds
calling
good,
you.
bud.
Thanks
now.
again, Fred.
All right.